We often think of life after 60 as a time for slowing down. But what if it's actually a time for finding a totally new, profound sense of purpose? Today, we're diving into the science that shows how connecting with younger generations can unlock a remarkably fulfilling and even healthier life.
Just take a second and think about your own life. How often do you have a real, meaningful chat with someone much younger or much older than you are? Outside of your immediate family. Yeah, if you're like most of us, the answer is probably not that often, right? And it turns out that's not just a feeling, it's a fact backed by data. As a whole society, we're not just drifting apart, we are actively sorting ourselves by age. Our neighborhoods, our workplaces, even our social circles have become these little age bubbles, creating a generational gap that feels wider than ever before. So, how did we get here? And more importantly, what can we do about it? All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to unpack why this generation gap is even growing in the first place. Then, we'll get into the good stuff, a scientifically proven solution for building these intergenerational bridges. We'll look at how this creates a brand new sense of purpose and even boost health for folks over 60. And finally, we'll tie it all together and see why this connection is really a two-way street that helps everyone. Okay, first up, the growing generation gap. Let's dig into how modern life itself can sometimes, unintentionally, pull us all apart. Think about it. So much of our world is digital now, right? And that can sometimes leave older adults who aren't as tech-savvy feeling a bit left behind. At the same time, those traditional roles, where elders pass down their wisdom, those opportunities are kind of fading. And the result of all this reduced contact, it's not just distance. It's fueling a real crisis of social isolation. And get this, studies show loneliness is rising and it's hitting both the young and the old. And here's where it gets really fascinating from a psychological standpoint. When we don't actually interact with other generations, our brains don't just leave that space empty. Oh no, we fill in the blanks with stereotypes, with assumptions. And that's how we end up with this concept of the other. We start to lose sight of all the things we actually have in common. Okay, so that's the problem. But what if we could intentionally start rebuilding those connections? Well, the great news is, there is a powerful evidence-based solution that does exactly that. So, where are we getting all this from? Well, this isn't just a hunch. It's coming from a massive systematic review in the Journal of Intergenerational Relationships. They basically took a deep dive into 13 different studies to figure out what really happens, what really works when you bring adolescents and older adults together. They're called intergenerational programs. And look, this isn't just about sticking a bunch of different age groups in the same room and hoping for the best. Nope. These are carefully designed activities. Could be anything from storytelling to tech workshops, where the key is that both generations are connecting as equal partners. Everyone is there to learn from each other. Now, the absolute key to making this whole thing work comes down to one crucial ingredient: reciprocity. It's this idea of an equal exchange. It's not about older people just teaching the young, or young people just helping the old. It's a real two-way street of support and information. Honestly, this idea of mutual benefit, it's the secret sauce that makes these connections so incredibly transformative. And this leads us to one of the most powerful results of all, a totally renewed, profound sense of purpose, especially for older adults. This, right here, is a huge reason to celebrate life after 60. There's a really cool scientific concept behind this called generativity. It sounds complex, but it's actually something we all feel. It's that deep, fundamental human need to contribute to the future, to pass on what we've learned, to guide the next generation. It's really about feeling like your life has made a mark, that it mattered. And these programs, they tap directly into that need. You see older participants reporting this incredible sense of pride and fulfillment. They feel useful again. They feel this powerful sense of accomplishment that comes from sharing a lifetime of wisdom. It's like it completely re-energizes their sense of purpose in the world. But wait, there's more. The benefits aren't just in your head or your heart. The research shows clear, measurable boosts to your health and even your mind. And these results are so tangible. We're talking about significant jumps in overall life satisfaction and empowerment. Just imagine engaging in these new activities that directly fight back against isolation. It gives people this incredible sense of hope and rejuvenation. It's not just about passing the time, it's about truly adding more life to your years. And yeah, it's a workout for the brain too. These interactions don't just feel good, they actually lead to improved mental alertness. Older adults found they had renewed confidence in their social skills. They just felt more engaged, more connected, sharpening both their minds and their ability to connect with others. Okay, but remember that magic ingredient we talked about, reciprocity? This whole thing isn't just a feel-good story for older adults. The impact is huge for both sides, and honestly, for society as a whole. It's a total two-way street. This is one of my favorite parts. Look at how these programs just absolutely demolish stereotypes. Before the interactions, you get the same old tired labels, right? The youth are seen as disrespectful or lazy. The older adults are old-fashioned. But after they actually spent time together as equals, they found out they had similar values, similar outlooks on life. They built genuine respect and understanding, and all those old preconceptions just, poof, disappeared. And it goes even deeper than just respect. The research found that any perceived distance between the groups just gave way to solidarity. As they started sharing their stories, talking about their lives, their work, their families, that initial distance just melted away. And what replaced it was a true sense of being in it together. And in a lot of cases, real, actual friendships. And let's not forget the younger participants. The benefits for them were just as real. They developed leadership skills, their confidence shot up, and they experienced huge personal growth. It's such a powerful reminder that literally everyone has something to teach, and everyone has something to learn no matter their age. So when you put it all together, what's the big takeaway here? This science completely reframes how we should be looking at aging. It shows us that the years after 60 are not about decline, not at all. They are a unique and valuable stage of life, a time for contribution, for growth, and for forging deep, meaningful connections. So that leaves all of us with a really powerful question to think about. It doesn't have to be some big formal program. It can be as simple as having a real conversation with a neighbor from a different generation, or volunteering, or just sharing a skill you have. So what's one small bridge you could build in your own life?